Hi everybody, welcome to my video. So you're probably aware that in PES or efootball 2022 they now have some events which are team limited with base strength, which is really good because you get to see different players than the normal Mbappes and Haalands, etc. Now you're probably thinking, how do I optimize my squad? Certainly that's a challenge that I was thinking about, because I had a team with Bex and Chilwell and Tony and Ramsdale, all good players, but that means I had to surround them with fairly average ones, with ranking around 60 to 70. And I saw some teams which were a bit more balanced with players like 80s, and I thought, oh, how did they do that? So I went on the internet, and a long time ago, for an older version of PES, somebody did create a formula. Well, they estimated the formula, and they showed that it was very skewed. So your top two players had a coefficient of 1, and your weakest players had a coefficient of a ninth. And that really meant that if you had a Lewandowski or a Benzema, that was really going to skew the squad. You had to have some very, very weak players to offset that. Now, I've been trying to estimate that myself. I put in a lot of different squads and I tried to estimate what the coefficients were. I couldn't do it through a regression because there wasn't enough variance, but I did manage to estimate it myself, and I found that broadly even mix of coefficients of 1 on your weakest players, 1.5 on your middle players, and 2 on your best players kind of got me close with an average error of 6. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it's close. And what does that mean? It means that basically you should try and have a balanced squad. If you have everybody with a ranking of 75, you'll get to 2100. If you're naughty and you whiteball your squad with players with a ranking of 50, they're called white balls because that's what they used to be when they were drawn out of the hat in the old PES, then what you can have is a ranking of 85 for your main team and 50 for your reserves. And some people say that's not fair, but then you look at the real world, and sometimes your Premier League squad and you've got injuries, you might have kids on the bench, and you've got some good first team players. So it's debatable. Some people say they make sure they pick players with unwavering form and on A, B or C rather than picking D players. So I don't know. I think PES Universe would prefer you to all have players with 75. But anyhow, what I wanted to show you is if you put a Lewandowski, say, with a ranking of 90, to offset him, it's not a 60, which, because obviously 75 plus 15 is 90, but 75 minus 15 is 60. That's not how it works. Because it's got a double ranking, you have to actually put a player with a ranking of 45 to offset your Lewandowski. So there's clearly a skew to avoid putting really, really good players on, because then you've got to put a really, really weak player to offset it. So I'm going to go and see if I can build a squad with players around 75, maybe some 80s if I have some weaker ones on the bench with some. But yeah, let's just have a look while we're here. Let's assume that instead of a whole squad of 75s, let's just copy this to here. And if I was to make all my players 80, then you can see that having 70s on the, oh my gosh, what am I doing? 70s on the bench wouldn't be enough. You'd have to have, yeah, a lot of 60s on the bench, really. So it really is about having an evenly distributed squad, and that's basically the message. So have a balanced squad to do well in eFootball, these tiered competitions. That's it. Thank you. Bye.